Hey guys, Mitch Kendra here. We are at Ford Field for the round 6 of Monster JMA Supercross, the Detroit Supercross. I'm joined by Grant Harlan, our co-host for the day. We're going to preview round 6. We're going to talk about the storylines, the racing so far, and we're going to get into it. All again presented by 60 Helmets.
60 Helmets is dedicated to the relentless pursuit of brain protection. 60's patented Omni-Directional Suspension technology provides protection capabilities unmatched by any other helmet design.
So Grant, a couple rounds in here, walk us through your season so far.
There's really nothing to walk through. I had one round where I was pretty close to making the main in San Diego before I threw it away in the whoops, and then before that and after that, it's just been kind of a nightmare for me. Don't really know what's going on, but got a new weekend here in Detroit, so we're going to turn it around and get in one of those main events.
And so there's no, because I think we talked, you moved to California this year in the off season,
Yep.
but really not a ton of different changes. Still back with the same team and everybody.
Yep.
Is there can you point to one thing that you're struggling with this year, or is it, I'm sure you're going through the same program as last year and just the results are what they were last year. And I'm sure it's got to be a bummer, it's not happening as it did last year. Is there something you can work on during the week, or is it just you got to show up and work through the week and then hopefully race day just goes better?
Yeah, everything's the same as it was last year, and I feel like my struggles are similar to what they were last year, kind of just not letting myself commit to the racetrack, just showing up, I don't want to say scared, but just, hesitant, nervous, not doing the rhythms, not doing, what I need to do, and not having any intensity. That's the biggest thing. The gate drops and I kind of just end up wherever I end up, and that's not good enough. So, I ride good during the week, and then I show up on the weekends and I don't ride good, and it's frustrating, but like I said, we have another weekend to give it a go, and just got to get myself to go and do it.
What can you usually expect at this race? The dirt, kind of how it forms up. We're inside a dome, it's cold outside. What do you expect when you come to Detroit, to the Detroit round?
I think I've only raced Detroit twice, once in 22 and then again in 23. I believe 22 was super hard pack. It gets its ruts here and there, and then 23 was super ruddy. And as well as 24, even though I didn't race it, but we'll kind of see how it forms up today. Probably be a little bit softer than tomorrow, but I would expect some ruts and maybe a couple slick spots here and there, but probably just ruddy.
So do you make, coming into this round, it's maybe one of the first more rough and ruddy tracks, and like you mentioned, a little bit slick too. Would you make bike changes coming into today, or do you kind of go off a press day and maybe make adjustments for tomorrow, or are you coming into this weekend already with big changes from Tuesday or Wednesday?
I made a change for Tuesday, and I'm going to try it here today. Obviously, practice track and race track are quite a bit different. Being up there in Paso, there's not many ruts, so and if there are ruts, they're really hard. So I'm going to try something today, see how it feels, and if it's good, I'll stay with it for tomorrow. If it's not, I'll go back and just keep trying what we've been doing.
And then last thing, do you follow the NFL at all?
I do.
Who's your favorite team?
The Patriots.
Okay, so Lions, what do we think about their season? They're strong, and then they kind of didn't really have the playoff run they were hoping.
Yeah, so my girlfriend's a Lions fan. She's from Detroit, or Michigan. But I was kind of hoping they'd go on a run. And then seeing the Eagles and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I was pretty disappointed. Being a Patriots fan, the Eagles beat us a few Super Bowls ago, and I still hold a grudge against that. But I am happy they won and beat the Chiefs. Didn't allow a three-peat. Kind of ended the Mahomes-Brady comparison, So I'm happy about that. And, Saquon and all those guys are, I'm sure you see the videos. They're pretty cool, so I'm glad they got the win.
And plus now you can rub it into Benny Bloss. His Chiefs lost, right?
Every day of the week, sending him something new. Just absolutely hammering the Chiefs.
Awesome. How was last weekend for you, Bryce?
Not ideal. I had some bike problems in the night show, so looking to turn it around here in Detroit. Even though it's a little cold, should be fun.
I say any big bike changes or any changes from last week coming into this weekend?
Not really. I got to ride Tuesday a little bit. It was raining at club, but I got to put some mud motos in. No bike changes. I feel good. Suspension's good. Bike's good. I'm just ready to turn it around here in Detroit.
So I didn't really get to talk to you before the season started. Was there one thing specific in the off season you worked on? Maybe whoop speed or form in general, or anything specific you were focused on this year coming in?
Yeah, I did a lot of suspension testing. I actually went to a different setup. I'm running air forks now, so I was doing a lot of adjusting with that, and the corner's a lot better for me, so I'm really happy with that change.
Is that just I guess, how do you even know to try that? Or is it just you weren't comfortable?
It was something my suspension tech wanted me to try, and I ended up really liking it. And so I put it on my race bike, and I've been really happy with it since.
And then, so how many times have you been to the Detroit round?
Just last year. Last year was my rookie year, and this was actually the first race for East Coast last year, so it brings up some memories coming back to where I started racing Supercross.
Did you ever come here as a kid or no?
No, it's a little too far being from Pennsylvania, so I'll usually hit like the MetLife and stuff like that. Now we actually have one in Philly this year, so.
I'll say, you've got to be pumped about that Ford Northeastern swing, right?
Oh yeah, that's super awesome, being able to see a bunch of fans and family come out.
And then I know you didn't get to ride yet. You're going to ride here soon. What's like early predictions for the track, kind of based on last year? Kind of look at the track layout. We got some sand. Like, what do you kind of know what to expect for this weekend?
Yeah, it's usually super soft here with them bringing in the dirt and it being so cold outside. There's usually moisture that even comes up after today we riding it, and usually the ruts, there's some water that actually starts to come out, and it's super soft usually here.
Another race with a right-hand first turn. Do you guys practice right-hand first turn? Like how? I guess what's the mentality of that versus a normal left-hand turn?
Yeah, I just think you got to be a little bit more careful. You can't drive it into the corner so deep. Like the last couple of weeks, we've just been doing right-hand first turns because of Tampa and this weekend, getting the practice and not having the rear brake. I think you can't charge as hard in. You got to be a little bit mindful that you got to get on the brakes a little bit earlier.
And does that, I guess, do you put an emphasis, like an extra emphasis on like we call them the fake starts, the whole shots in like qualifying and just like gate pick selection? Does that impact that
I think
at all, or?
Mostly just qualifying good and getting the ideal gate is more important when there's a right-hand corner. Just because positioning on the gate, you want to make sure you come into that first corner pretty straight.
Cool. And anything else you'd like to add?
No, just ready to get out there on the track.
Oh, are you an Eagles fan?
I am. Yeah.
All right. So let's hear what do we think of the Super Bowl?
It was awesome to watch. It was pretty boring for us Eagles fans, but I mean we'll take a win, so it was exciting.
It was good boring because you guys were up by
exactly. Yeah. Yep.
What you have a favorite player on the Eagles, or anybody specific you like most?
Probably this year Cooper DeJean was a standout. I mean Saquon's awesome, AJ Brown. I don't really have a favorite. They're all pretty good.
All right, Max, so after last weekend, anything different this week? Is it just, like any boost of confidence heading into this weekend, or just going about the business?
Yeah, I mean, just doing work. That's it, really. Just doing my thing this week, hitting my marks, doing my laps, and we're in a good spot. See how the weekend goes. I mean, like I said, I don't expect every week to go as smoothly as last week, but we're here to take what comes, make the best of every situation, and execute as well as I can.
And then coming into Detroit, any changes for the track, or
That's awesome.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit different from last weekend.
Yeah.
Any changes or like early thoughts on the track layout?
We'll see. It looks good. We had this layout actually at the Goat Farm early part of the off season. It's changed now, but quite similar to be fair. We'll see how soft it is. Last year was really soft. The year before was kind of hard. It kind of doesn't look like it's going to be super soft, so quite nice. But we'll see when we get out there for press in a minute. But here to do the job. It's very chilly outside, and it's kind of cold in here, to be honest, at the moment. So we're different from last week.
Awesome. Anything else like that?
No, that's it. Nice red plate. So let's go have a good time.
Awesome, thanks. Elephant in the room. Walk us through a situation last week. What happened in Florida?
Did something happen last weekend? No. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy race. First and foremost, just super grateful to be here. I had a little bit of a couple little small injuries to work through this week. Have a partial tear in my labrum in my left shoulder. Had to get some stitches. Beat up my arm pretty good, but also super grateful that Ken's okay and Jeremy. And just a weird deal. Obviously getting lapped sucks. It's never easy, but I feel like I tried my best to get the heck out of the way. And I think anyone that watched the race back, you can see I got literally all the way off to the right of the track, rolled the sand, was just trying to let Ken have a gap to get through. And then the next thing I know, I'm just doing a somersault through the air. So crazy thing. I wouldn't have done anything different. It's not super unfortunate, but I can understand where he's upset, and I can understand where I'd be bummed. It's just a racing incident ultimately, but going forward, though, it did seem like it stirred up the internet a lot. I've never gotten tagged in so many videos in my life, so just really stoked to be in Detroit.
Have you interacted with those guys since then, or talked with either of those guys at all, or what's it been like? I guess for you, personal wise, the last couple of days.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard from Ken and I don't expect to, but Jeremy, I actually ride with Jeremy in Florida a little bit, so I do know Jeremy, and we actually talked just before press here, and he was getting a lot of crap online, and I actually was getting a lot of hate too. And I understand, like, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but the truth is, like, I've done this long enough, and I've unfortunately been lapped quite a few times, and I understand. I'm trying to get out of the way. Like, if anything, I'm probably too respectful most of the time. But I was watching Chisholm out there, and he's super respectful. Like, when he gets lapped, he's always very polite and gets out of the way, because I think he's done this before, right? So I took a page out of his book and was just trying to be as far out as I can. But like I said, a lot of the people watching from home can't see that always. But that sand was really, really difficult too. I crashed twice in my free practice just trying to roll through it. So there's really no easy way to go through there. I think if it would have been a hard pack section that happened in, there would have been no crash or no issue, but because of it being sand and all the deep ruts that were going left, right, and center, a lot of chaos ensued. So yeah, like I said, super unfortunate. Really bummed for Ken, bummed for myself, but bummed for Jeremy. Just really glad that I'm here racing.
Yeah, and so you mentioned, like, it just happened so quickly and you were flying through the air. Like, what's your initial, like, how do you even realize what's going on at that point? And like, then you get up and you're kind of like holding your arm, and it's like, you know, I guess what's going through your mind when you come realize, okay, I crashed, like, hurt my arm, like, what's, I guess, the next thought process there, and just what's going through your mind when all that happens?
Right. I would say the biggest thing is just immediately I was so caught off guard, and I thought I destroyed my arm. I had a lot of blood. I had to get stitches, so I had blood running down my arm, and I started just feeling all this crazy pain. I was like, I couldn't move my fingers very good, so I just assumed that I just destroyed my arm. And then my instinct is always to get back on the track and ride, but I couldn't, so end up DNFing. And yeah, there's really, it just happened so fast. Before you blink, you're just flying through the air, crazy.
And then lastly, I don't want to make it all about last week, but like, how was your season so far? Just walk us through like everything you're feeling and kind of heading into Detroit.
Right. Yeah, it's been a pretty good season so far. Obviously, I've still got a lot of bike things I'm trying to work out, right? We're trying to get suspension better, engine better, but I feel like I've done pretty good. I've missed the main like twice by one spot, a couple weekends, so I feel like I've been knocking on the door, qualifying straight through the heat, getting an 8th last weekend was awesome, and my main was going pretty good. I was doing pretty solid around that 16th mark, 16th, 17th. Going into Detroit, I'm a little beat up, not gonna lie. I'm really grateful I'm here to ride press and test out this shoulder. I would be lying if I said I'm 100%, but my goals are still, I want to get in the main event and just ride well and hopefully just build throughout the season.
And knowing you're coming in with a banged up body, is there any bike changes coming in for this round? Because maybe we're going to see more ruts than last week.
Right.
Like, any bike changes for this weekend or no?
Yeah, so the softer dirt definitely will pull the bike a lot differently. It's kind of more that Play-Doh feeling. I might stiffen the bike up a little bit. We've been on that West Coast type of track for a long time, and I softened everything a lot, but I'll get with my boys at Enzo and probably make a couple of changes for sure, and just kind of know what to expect. It's going to be soft, but I'm used to that kind of stuff. So,
anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to thank everyone that backs me. I know the privateers, we're loved and hated at the same time, but I have a lot of love, and a lot of people reached out and were worried about me. So it means a lot, and hopefully give you guys a good race in Detroit.